We do not know how to be good. We really do not. But we know how to stop making the mistakes that have already hurt us. And somewhere, as we gradually overcome the mistakes, that which is left becomes clearly good. So in mysticism, we have this tendency to retire into quietude. We discover that one of the problems that we all face is our difficulty in getting along with ourselves. And this self we have trouble getting along with is the same self that everybody else has trouble in getting along with. It is also the self which our friends and relatives have difficulty getting along with. So if we are not able to live with ourselves, we cannot really expect to live happily with anybody else. Now, most people, because of this lack of internal organization, are afraid of being alone. They're afraid to face any problem with their own strength because they know they haven't got any. That the only strength we will ever know and ever have is in ourselves. Everything we lean on can collapse. Everything we depend on outside of ourselves will ultimately fail. And the more we lean, the weaker we are. The only problem that we can face intelligently is how to get in touch with our own strength. And the way we can get in touch with it is not to compromise it any longer. Most people know what they should do, but they lack the incentives, they lack the strength of character to do it. Now, this doesn't mean that they know all that they should do to the end of time, but they do know what would help now if they would only do it. The individual who is an alcoholic says, I know I should stop drinking, so he keeps on drinking. The individual who has certain tendencies to misrepresentation or prevarication will frankly tell you that they should tell the truth, but they don't feel like it. So the idea that we are all wandering around here without knowing what to do or how to do it is an exaggeration. Every one of us has within an instinctive guiding principle. If we give it a chance, it will work. And even though we try to smother it, it still occasionally is heard from. And will continue to be heard from more and more desperately until something is done about it. So knowing what we should do next, we can sit down and we can say to ourselves, if I was someone else with no personal interest in this situation whatever, what would I know to be right? Beyond this, we must then proceed to lift our conduct and character above the compromise of our personal desires. We've got to begin to be true to character. If we do not, our race and our culture will perish. The heart also gives us great courage. It gives us the courage of sacrifice. It gives us the courage of martyrdom if necessary. It gives us the courage to go beyond those common duties and to perform those actions which are beyond the call of duty. The heart gives us the willingness to forget ourselves in the service of other things. The heart makes us unselfish, if we will permit it to. And it is only when the mind corrupts this unselfishness that we begin to pervert the heart, which is one of the most dangerous evils that can affect anyone. Nature has told us from the beginning that every question for which we need an answer, that answer is in man. Man's only instrument is himself. And with this instrument, he must solve himself. Certainly, he can transport his physical body to another planet. This is perfectly possible. But when he gets to that other planet, he will still have to live with his own heart and his own mind. And the solution to these basic problems is not in space travel, but into penetration of self. In Chinese philosophy, when you go into the idea of the heart doctrine, well, this heart peace in man is not a selfish peace. It is not the running away into the self in order to escape the bruises of the world.